You're asking for it, you're gonna get it. What? You finally wise up? What happened? Hi. So we're back with Everlasting Summer, Day 3. The night left a feeling of anxiety behind. I woke up exhausted both physically and mentally. It happens to me all the time. You see incredibly lucid images in your dream as if you fell into a Hollywood blockbuster with a plot full of twists, well-paid actors, and multi-million-dollar visual effects. And then you wake in the morning without remembering a thing. That's what I was trying to do. Restore the images shown by my relaxed brain, but that part of my memory was empty, either archived or formatted completely. It's 7 a.m. according to the clock. I seem to be an early bird today. Olga Dmitrievna was still sleeping, wrapping tightly in her blanket. Oh, okay, so I can go up like this. Okay, cool. Wrapping so tightly in a hot summer. I got up, stretched, and went to the mirror to have a look at myself. I better shave. Strange idea, before twice a month was enough, but now nothing depends on the way I look. I haven't found a razor anyway. Why do I even need if it? Why do I even need it if I look like I'm 17 at most? So, breakfast can start earlier than 9 a.m., and this means I have plenty of time, which I can spend on walking and washing, for example. The water didn't seem as ice cold as the previous day. On the contrary, its refreshing coolness helped me to brace up and come back to reality, whether all these events could be called real. The tooth powder didn't seem to be such an outdated thing. A quick thought struck me that it's not that different from toothpaste. Okay. When I returned to the cabin, Olga Dmitrievna was already up. She was standing in front of the mirror and fixing her hair. Good morning, Semyon. Morning. Because of a lack of sleep, my head was still singing and my thoughts were all jumbled together. However, I didn't regret waking up instead of my usual habit of sleeping in for 2 or 3 hours more. How come you got up so early? It just happened. And no neckerchief once again? Let me. I'll do it myself, not a big deal. On my way to the canteen. I don't think so, do it now. Did you forget about the lineup before breakfast? How could I ever forget? And what's the lineup going to be about today? We'll discuss the agenda for the day. So what's the agenda? Frankly speaking, I didn't care for what might be on the agenda for our courageous pioneer troop. I was mostly interested in where our brave leader will send our little pioneer army for the following 12 to 15 hours. Maybe I can manage to avoid enemy locations. You'll find that out at the lineup. Why is she blushing? She gave me a wily smile. Olga, Olga Dmitrievna. You don't need to say the whole name, dude. It's hard for me. My stomach is getting upset. I'd rather, I believe that's okay to miss the lineup once. It could get all nasty if I failed to control it right there. Could you make it less detailed? Okay? Too much information there, buddy. Where did all this courage come from? You have 5 more minutes. I'm afraid I need more time. Could you tell me right now, please? Sure, I'll try, but just in case it all goes down. Oh, fine. On our list for today is cleaning the camp locations, organizing the books in the library, some other minor tasks, and of course we have a ball in the evening. Watch yourself. You must take part in the camp activities today. You bet. Definitely, and now I'd rather. Come on, let's hit the road. I mean, if it's a ball, we should ask Miki. Because she definitely likes me. She blushed. I mean, if you blushed, you like me. I came out of the cabin and hid in the bushes behind it, waiting for Olga Dmitrievna to leave. I actually didn't have any particular reason to behave this way, but the voice within me kept telling me that I have nothing to do at the lineup. After the camp leader left, I went back to the cabin and decided to wait for breakfast there. While I'm not planning on taking part in community life today, Cleaning and organizing? That's not what someone in my situation should be doing. 2 days have passed and I'm still right where I started. All the residents seem to be perfectly ordinary people. They weren't involved in any conspiracy, weren't communicating with aliens, and had no idea about time warps. Of course, each of them is a bit peculiar, but those peculiarities do not seem out of line at all. Moreover, if I'd met any of these pioneers in my familiar world, I wouldn't suspect anything wrong. They seem to be even more normal and natural than, let's say, yours truly. This line of reasoning was quite logical. The, the illogical part was the absence of answers. Ordinary people in an extraordinary place. I heard and seen that already, somewhere. Dozens of pioneers or even more live their familiar lives and do the regular stuff day by day. They don't understand that the world around them is not what it looks like. Why do we have to talk about this? Why can't we get into the action? Why do you have to sit in your room, think to yourself? I do that all the time, and I think even this is too much thinking. Okay, but this is their point of view. As for me, I'm not acquainted with the world of the Slavya camp and its residents, even if they seem to behave the way normal people would under the same circumstances. I have to decide here and now, are those people involved in what's happening to me? Can they give me any answers, or do I have to seek the truth somewhere else? Whew. It seems I overdid it a bit with the thinking. There's no usual crowd of hungry pioneers near the canteen. Or even inside the canteen. Most of them probably had their breakfast before 9 a.m. That's even better. Two's company, three's a crowd. Lena was sitting in the farthest corner of the canteen, lazily picking with her fork at an amorphous lump that vaguely resembled porridge. Having a breakfast with her seems like a good idea. We can have a chat in peace, or at least try to have one. I was on the way to her table when suddenly somebody grabbed me by the sleeve. Xenia, the librarian. Get your meal and come. We need to talk. What are you waiting for? I was a bit confused. Pardon, isn't this a bit too sudden? What's wrong? Get your meal and sit down. I suppose that she considers her behavior completely normal. I kind of want to go to Lena though. But I mean, lying like this, sorry, but I promised Lena, you didn't. Did we I think we promised, didn't we? Now I'm just gonna say that. I was sure that Lena wouldn't mind if I sat next to her. Hold on, wait a second. Sorry, maybe later. I gently loosened my sleeve from her grip and headed to the farthest corner of the canteen. Xenia was shouting something in my direction, but I tried to ignore her. Hi, good morning. Having heard the librarian shouting, Lena had been stealing glances at me for a while. Morning. Strangely enough, she didn't blush, but smiled instead. Smiling also means I like it. Would you mind if I join you? I'll get my meal in and be back in no time. Yeah, sure. In a minute, I was already sitting in front of her with a simple set of plates on a tray. Porridge, 2 poached eggs, 4 pieces of wheat bread, a boiled sausage, and a glass of compote made of unknown fruits and berries. That sounds very good right now. I haven't eaten yet, and all I have is a pizza. Have a nice meal? Have a nice meal. That wasn't a question. Have a nice meal, thanks. I was trying to eat as neatly as I could, no chomping, smearing the food, or spilling the compote over myself. It seems that eating like a human and not like a hog was not that hard at all. It is actually pretty hard, to be honest. As usual, Lena remained silent, which means I should start the conversation. Going to the dance tonight? Probably. She was silent for a while. And you? I don't know yet. Though I didn't want to go there at all. I didn't like dance parties since my school days. Why so? What do you mean? My mom was still far away in my school times. Why don't you want to go? Actually, I never went to one. That is like something every teenager should experience. It's a ball. I feel like every teenager should be able to experience it. Because you see it on movies, you see it on TV series, and every time it goes wrong, somehow, or if it goes good, you end up having sex. But I never really had a ball because the school I went to, when there was around ball times, they were like, "Hey, we have 40 people that wants to go to the ball, and that's too little. 40 people is too little. That's like, I think that, yeah, that's more of the half of the people that goes to the ball at that school." So it's like let's say it's 40 people out of 80, and they say it's too little. Where would we even have the ball? If we were going to have the ball in the gym that we had there, that would be more than enough. It would almost be packed in there. Why would you want more? And how is 40 too little? I feel like 40 is just good enough. But yeah, and it doesn't matter. I went to all the schools I went to. No one really liked me. Oops. So no one would even want to go with me. So why would I be going to the ball? But I feel like everyone should at least get a chance to go to a ball. I wish I was Clay Jensen from 13 Reasons Why for a second when he went to the ball in season 2, in like the last episode, I think it was. Because he had, they don't really call each other friends, but he had Justin and Zach, and they were smiling at him when he threw pillows at them, trying to get them to go out on the dance floor and dance. I feel like that's good friends. I feel like, yeah, I feel like that's and even they even hugged when a pretty song came on. He remembered back to his crush that died in season 1. Um, and and all of his friends just found him, and all of them just got into a big group hug with him in the middle. Even Zach hugged. Even Jessica hugged. And it's like, what? But yeah, I think that's pretty cool. I probably spoiled a lot now, but don't you worry. The worst part is not going to be spoiled because that's brutal. Messed up, but yeah. I didn't say I don't want to. Okay then, but if you're inviting me, Lena turned red and looked away. I don't really. Sorry, just kidding. I felt confused. I better not joke like that. Fine. Lena said indifferently and focused on her food while her face turned even more red. Why am I stuck on this dance as if we have nothing else to talk about? But wait, is there actually anything? Maybe you could ask Lena, even though, I mean, that would be a bad idea since Miku. But if we don't find Miku, I mean, she's always in the music room, isn't she? By the way, maybe you know what Senya wants to ask me? Huh? I mean, when I just came in, she wanted something from me. I don't know. I see. The conversation reached a dead end, so I tried to seem fully focused on my meal. Lena finished her breakfast first. Well, she just had a porridge, you said earlier, so... Oh, you didn't really say that, but I mean, I think you had a bigger breakfast either way. I should go. See you later. See ya. I was finishing chewing on a sausage, which tasted like a twisted pair of cable. How do you know what that tastes like? I wonder if they have internet access here. I don't think so, because I bet that everyone would sit on their phone right now. I guess not. A pioneer sitting at the next table noticed me talking to myself and stared at me. I smiled and waved to him in return. It's a guy. I'm just kidding. After such a friendly greeting, he, for some reason, left the canteen quickly without finishing his breakfast. Done with the food? It's time to search for some clues. Maybe he found a bug like you did in the first time you ate here. Sometime later, I finally came to the infirmary. I have nothing to do in that place. Though the nurse seemed quite caring, it's better to keep a distance from her. Such benevolence, such benevolence is actually scary. She may know something, but I just hadn't the courage to enter the infirmary. Moreover, I had no reason to. Not a single one. Immersed in my own thoughts, I didn't notice the nurse who was standing on the porch. Hi there, pioneer. She came closer. You must be sick. Did you come for medicine? Oh. No, I was just wandering around. Oh, a truant, I see. But if you're here, I have a serious task for you. I gave her a look of inquiry. I There are so many words here that is just unknown to me. The word task made me feel uneasy. It sounded like something inevitable. The nurse smiled spitefully. You both will help me to make an inventory of the supplied medicine which arrived today. Both? Who are we? Perhaps I misheard. But what word could be confused with both? Hi again. Lena emerged from behind the nurse's back. It seemed strange that I hadn't noticed her until now. Come here after dinner. I've explained everything to Lena. She will tell you what to do. Medicine, huh? Supplied today? But Olga Dmitrievna told me that no bus would arrive in the next couple of days. So there were visitors to our camp today? Yes, they arrived from the city this morning. Why are you asking? Just curious. Alright then, pioneer. So tonight, after dinner, you'll be here. Maybe Lena was barely noticeable this whole time. Surely she's able to remain invisible like a skilled ninja. I could do it on my own. Strange she seemed more spirited during lunch. No, wait, there are lots of boxes. And the pioneer is always ready. You, you, I was thinking, or not I, but Semyon here was thinking Olga said it wasn't any bus arriving, but this isn't really a bus if it's many boxes. It's probably like a truck or something. Isn't that so, pioneer? She gazed at me and smiled menacingly. I don't want to spend the whole evening doing something like this, and also I got more important things to do. But rejecting this request will be really improper. If it wasn't Lena who was standing there, I would definitely think my way out. I don't know what to say though, I want to be with me too, but it's gonna end up me being with Lena instead because she's so shy and I can't say no, and okay. Nice. That's how a true pioneer should answer. Even after these words, I barely came a step closer to the pre-prepared, always prepared motto. Then you can go. I looked at Lena, who was still staring at the ground. I guess all that time she spent staring at the ground was enough to learn everything there is to know about the life and habits of different insects. Plus, Lena likes to read, so she probably read many biological, botanical, and so on books. Perhaps she wants to become an entomologist or a librarian. Where will you head next? Lena's word drew me away from the obscure thoughts. We've been standing at the square for some time, and my speculations about Bugs' lives were only an attempt to escape this awkward situation. Though, why did I say that's awkward? Just don't forget, alright? Don't forget what? Well, tonight, after dinner, at the infirmary. Her face got a slightly crumpled look to it. No way, that's impossible. Alright, right after dinner, I'm at your service. I thought too late. At my words, Lena blushed even harder. I needed to find a way to ease this situation. Why did the nurse ask you to do it? I don't know. I was just sitting on the bench and reading a book when she came in. It's smart to ask a reliable person who would never say no. Okay, well then, after dinner. Okay, I'll be off then. Yeah, sure. She walked off somewhere beside the clubs, and I just stood at the square for some time. So what's next? I decided to visit my cabin in order to collect my phone. I don't know where I'll find myself today, but having a watch is always useful. Though having a wristwatch is much easier. Suddenly I heard a different tune, which was cutting through the usual noise of the camp. I listened to it carefully. I listened to it carefully. I just said it. Sounds like an electric guitar. Three repeating Three report. Oh my god. Three repeating chords. No more. But this melody still felt somehow warm, as if a vacuum tube-based audio amplifier was used. Could there be such a luxury here? The sound was definitely coming from somewhere near the stage area. I wonder who that could be. I know it's going to be oh, what was her name again? The angry one. And to be honest, if I go there, I know she will ask me if I would come listen to her next time she's doing it, but I know that next time she's doing it is either when I have to help Lena with something or helping someone else, and I have to choose, and I can't really say no to her. And she is mad. I mean, she did. I think she likes me, but oh well. Who cares? I better keep on looking for answers. Whoever that is, what's the big deal? I have better things to do. Yeah. I came back to the leader's cabin. Olga Dmitrievna was lying lazily on her bed and reading a book. Semyon, what are you doing here? That's what I could ask her too. I've forgotten something, so I came back. You were absent at the lineup. Oh yeah, I apologize. Alright. Nevertheless, you should do something useful today. Just as I planned, but I have my own vision of what useful means. Like, you could go to the square to help with the cleaning. Slavya is in charge there. I was just there was no one there. Strange. I'd just been there and I hadn't seen anyone. Yeah. Or you could visit the boys at the electronics club. They asked me for a hand. Those fathers of invention again. Finally, you can help at the sports club. What are they up to? They're renewing the pitch, fixing the benches, changing the goal nets, and so on. Honestly, none of those options suited me. Why is she always trying to burden me with work? Seriously, except for Slavya, no one ever works here, while some people in particular are enjoying their free time with a youthful spirit. I mean, didn't the robot dudes do something robotic? Every one of the leaders' attempts to keep me busy seems to serve only one purpose, to prevent... I can't read anymore, I should probably stop recording soon. To prevent me from finding out my current location. Really, all the deep and vital questions concerning my existence are swept away by a broom, together with all the rubbish and litter. In my case, taking some time to work will probably pay off, but just like someone suffering gangrene and rejecting an amputation, I will stand by my beliefs. You know, I already had my own arrangements. Oh really? What kind of arrangements? She bucked up. Well, I can't just tell her what I'm really thinking about. On the other hand, why not? No, it's too dangerous. At least now I maintain a fragile balance and nothing is threatening me. Everything seems that way. Just as I thought. What exactly she thought remained secret. You probably have not yet realized how important it is to participate in social life. 1. There was no one at the square. 2. No one really works, except Slavya. 3. Why are you in the bed reading a book? 4. I'm playing a game, this isn't social life. And 5. Semyon should stop thinking too much. This is the only way to become a pioneer capable of being a role model. I don't want to be a role model, so... I didn't want to sit through another long lecture, so I decided to accept one of the offers. Sometimes the answers in this world can be found in the most unexpected places. Or at least, so I wanted to believe. So, should I choose for you? The leader's voice turned authoritative. I could do it myself, thank you. I mumbled and left the cabin. I'd rather help Slavya. I think I'd rather assist the guys with the giant robot engineering, and fine, I'll help the sports club. Slavya, no doubt. Always choose the lesser of two evils, they say. Well, 3 in this case. Slavya wasn't evil at all, so my choice was obvious. Is the robot dude evil? And you haven't even been to the sports club yet, have we? We have, haven't we? Because that's where this little girl is usually at. Any rational being keeps his house clean, but I usually perceived house cleaning and as somewhat akin to gym workouts. Oh my god, these words. Hey, it's a good for you, but not my sort of thing at all. However, I like the ideas of painting benches or of helping to future geniuses of Russian or Soviet science even less. There were about a dozen pioneers at the square. There was no one there a second ago. Where did they all come from, I wonder? I approached Slavya. Hi there. Oh, hi, you come to help? Well, not of my own free will, of course. I thought it over again. I see. Take this broom. Your area is right next to the monument. Frankly speaking, there was nothing to sweep there. It seemed pretty clean to me. Though some rubbish was still laying around. That's why she wanted you to do it. After sweeping for a while, I came back to Slavya, who was sitting on a bench and taking a break. What a nice day, huh? Yeah, I thought it's... No, it's a bit too hot. She shaded her eyes with her hand and looked up at the sky. You're like a tireless worker of communist labor. Aw, come on, I'd just like to help others. That's good. And what about you? What about me? Well, it seems to me that you find community service a bit of a burden. Well, probably. Why is that? I don't really know. Seriously, she can't expect me to just unload all my ideas concerning this point on her. She might drown in them. God forbid. Maybe you just don't like company. That's actually quite possible. There was some truth in Slavya's words. I suppose that she was good at reading other people's minds. Or at least at reading mine. Well, I like your company, though. And Miku. And Lena. Yeah, that's it. No, how can that be possible? Sorry. I sniffed. No, how can that be possible if even I find it hard to understand myself at times? What are you going to do when this session is over? What do you mean? Well, are you going to enter college or do you want to master a profession? In USSR, a person finishing the high school typically had to choose between either getting a college degree, typically achieving a status of engineer or scientist, or going into secondary vocational school, thus mastering a profession. I don't really know. I've already achieved grand mastery at all of my professions, watching anime and surfing the internet. Okay, so I have a grand mastery at that myself. I don't know yet. What about you? We have a small farm back home, so I want to help my parents there. Sounded pretty strange. Are there any private farms in the USSR? Where all the farming has to be collective? But as I decided not to go into details. And what are your parents doing? My parents were not a good subject for discussion. It is not that my parents are not good, quite the opposite, they are kind-hearted people. But it's not the right time for such a discussion. My father works at the local council, and my mother is a teacher. That wasn't actually true. More like a half-truth. Cool. She really seemed to consider that a cool thing. I guess so. The conversation had reached a dead end, so I was trying to take my eyes off Slavya, and kept gazing under my feet up in the sky or just looking around. You know, I'm pretty sure you'll also be fine. Slavya looked at me thoughtfully. What was that for? And what was that also about? Thanks? I mumbled. What do you mean? I suppose that you happen to be too pessimistic at times. Yeah? Isn't that way too straightforward? Nah, I get that all the time. Not really, I'm trying to be positive. I have actually tried to be positive since I met my now girlfriend. So, and it seems to be going very good, actually. Maybe. But you're gonna be alright? Maybe. After this conversation, I felt ill at ease. On the one hand, there was nothing special in her words. In general, almost any person in Slavya's shoes would come to a similar conclusion. Nevertheless, I felt, and not for the first time, like she could see right through me. So let's get to cleaning. Uh-huh. She smiled and took the broom. I never thought that cleaning could bring such a deep pleasure. And I wasn't upset because of this conversation. On the contrary, I was glad to hear that from her. For the first time ever, somebody was discussing my life without criticizing me, without giving any stupid advice based on their own personal experience, without intending to go through my head, and without making some far-reaching conclusions. I was just glad that somebody supported me. No, that's not quite right. I was just glad that Slavya supported me. Let's just see how much I have been recording. I can do a little bit more. In a short while, the music played around the camp, calling us for lunch. I put away the broom with a sigh of relief and a sense of accomplishment and went to the canteen. Why not go with Slavya, dude? Who is marching forward in a row? It is our pioneer squad. Pioneers in Rome usually marched to the canteen in the Slavonic camp. I was looking for a place where no one would disturb me, like what happened before, just so I could eat in peace. And for that, I have to at least not be the last one to come. But I was pretty sure whatever happens here happens whether it wanted to or not. The canteen was crammed as full as an egg. Olga Dmitrievna was standing at the entrance, guarding it like a hawk. Well, Semyon, were you working hard today? Hard enough. Well done, truly well done, and the hardest is yet to come. I just bet. Fine, take a seat next to the girls. Excuse me? I choose who I want to sit with, okay? But if the girls meet you, I'll be gladly to sit there. She pointed at the table next to the pillar. Slavya, Ulyana, and Lena were all been sitting there. Not Ulyana, please. Not bad company, at least not the worst. I got my meal and went up to them. Do you mind if I sit here? I caught myself sounding a bit clueless. There were no other free places anyway. No, of course not. Please do. Lena remained silent. Obviously. Today the meal consisted of a plate of borscht. I suspected there was some meat lurking in it, but I had no evidence. Some poultry, chances are chickenus domesticus. What was that again? I feel like I've heard it before. With fried potatoes and a traditional glass of compote. I found myself liking the local food more and more. I guess I just came to the conclusion that I have no other choice, which means that there is no use in complaining. Thank God there's something to eat. Coming to the ball tonight? I don't know. He'll come. He got nowhere to go. Excuse me. Ulyana said happily. You will come for sure. Of course. I can't miss the opportunity to watch you make a fool of yourself. Excuse me? She got it right, so I decided not to reply. And what about you? I asked Lena. Yes. She replied briefly. See, you should go too then, said Slavya, as if leaving me no choice. Don't forget to wear your tailcoat. Excuse me? Oh, I got a Skype message. Sorry. Apparently, Ulyana was so pleased with the joke that she laughed out loud. Jesus! But I really had nothing to wear. My wardrobe was just a pioneer uniform and my winter clothes, which could be inappropriate even in the evening. And what will you be dressed in, entertainer? Secret. Will it be a little dress just like in a kindergarten's matin? I had to get back somehow, right? Ulyana turned red. Looks like I managed to offend her. No, I will wear a biohazard suit, just so I don't catch an infection from you. Ooh! Oh. I wonder what kind of infection are you afraid of catching from me? Enough, you guys, don't quarrel. Idiocy, of course. Looks like Ulyana was highly pleased with her, as she thought brilliant answer again. You know, if you already have the flu, you can't catch a cold. Two can play at that game. What are you implying? Oh, nothing at all. I looked away slyly. Do you mean that? She went red again. I don't mean anything. Guys, given that it was Lena who interfered, it probably really was time to stop. You're asking for it, you're gonna get it. What? You finally wise up? What happened? Instead of replying, Ulyana grabbed her plate filled with borscht and tipped it over my head. Oh! This game meant an unexpected final. Oh, you little. She jumped up and tried to run away. But this time she won't get away. I grabbed her hand. And now what? I can't just smash her head against the table. I could, but this pantomime lasted a few seconds. Suddenly, Ulyana skillfully grabbed a glass full of compote and splashed it in my face. That way she managed to get free of my grip. She dashed off towards the counter and I chased her. This resulted in several flipped tables, a pile of smashed tableware, 5 pioneers crippled by various injuries, and full exhaustions of both parties. A draw, sort of. A belligerent draw. Too much belligerence. We stood before each other and breathed heavily. Tell me you won't behave this way again. And you? Olga Dmitrievna snuck up on us from behind. When you think about it, such a riot couldn't go unnoticed. Well, are you satisfied with yourselves now? Her voice appeared to be calm, but I was sure she was just about to explode. Who's going to clean up all this mess? Exactly what happened. Who? I'm asking you. Who? Him, replied Ulyana with complete confidence. Her. I objected less confidently. Both. The camp leader brought a conclusive end to this ongoing argument. But I can't. It's the ball. Generally, I wasn't sure that my share of the blame is more than hers, although Ulyana didn't have a drop of guilt on her face. Beat it. I'm not cleaning. Ain't nobody got time for that. This is his fault. He started it first. Excuse me? No, it isn't. Oh, yes, it is. I'm not going to sort out all that nonsense. Semyon, go grab a mop, a bucket, some cloths, that kind of stuff in the closet. And as for you, she looked at Ulyana with such a burning gaze that I felt a bit sorry for the girl. You start to pick up the broken tableware immediately. Olga Dmitrievna took a deep breath and continued. You're nothing but trouble. How many times have I told you? I decided to skip to the lecture and went to the closet that appeared to be near the exit. Suddenly, a perfect idea flashed in my head. Why don't I just run away? Sure, Olga Dmitrievna has caught us already, but I'm not the one to blame. Of course, I'm not that true pioneer she keeps talking about, but in comparison to Ulyana, anyway, she's the principal culprit. It's not like I have nothing better to do than cleaning up the mess here. I have to seek answers. The truth is out there, somehow flashed through my mind. I don't want to be mean, but run! The solution came out of thin air. While Olga Dmitrievna was scolding Ulyana, I slipped to the exit. Thank goodness it was nearby. Slipping outside, I hesitated for a few moments and ran into Electronic. Hi, dude! Looks like he was working too late at the club. Where's the fire? Fire? My shovel is leaving in 10 minutes. What? Hey, wait! Electronic's word hung in the air behind me. I ran up towards the square. It's definitely not the best place to hide. Indeed, in a state of stress or fatigue, I frequently started talking to myself. Well, not really talking, but rather mumbling under my breath. It helps me to concentrate and find the right solution quickly. Okay, where to next? Where should I go? The best place would be the one with the least amount of people. Consequently, my way lies in the woods. I would rather go to the music room, but you know what? Wood sounds good. We're gonna save there. How did I save again? Is it this? Yes, it's this. Okay. There we go. So we're gonna save it there and and continue in the forest next time apparently. And yeah, I know that I have been a little bit underneath the camera in this video, but yeah, I don't know why. There you go. A good height, I think. I can't really see myself right now. But anyway, doesn't matter. Anyway, this has been a little bit weird because I ran away. I don't think I've ever done that. What will happen? I don't know. But yeah, Ulyana started it. So anyway, yeah, I'm gonna leave it here. I can never end a video apparently. But anyway, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.